Welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie. If you're new here, in my videos, I'm really prioritizing just trying to be my best, healthiest self. And I'm really focused on healthy habits and all the things that I can do to really get my spark back and just feel more like myself. Because I think that over the last year, I've just let a lot of things slide and honestly just made myself kind of miserable by just doom scrolling or spending a lot of time just rotting on the couch. So in this video, I wanted to really focus on what it's like to try to do all that while working a 9-to-5 job and while working a job that is in the office. I work a hybrid schedule, which means on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go into the office. So I thought it'd be fun to show what a day looks like when I go in and then what a day looks like when I work from home. So today is Tuesday, which means I'm going into the office today. And my Tuesdays look a little different than my work from home days. I generally have to start my day earlier, so I already went to the gym. It is 7:51 a.m., so I got up and went to the gym. I was at the gym by 6 a.m. and home by like 7:15-ish, and then I got in the shower, did my makeup, and got dressed. And now it's time to try to have a quick, healthy breakfast and pack my lunch. So for breakfast today, I think I'm gonna do a Carb Smart bagel, which is like a dupe for the Sola bagels. I don't know if you can say dupe with food, but it is a very similar bagel to the Sola bagels brand, which are these like high protein, high fiber bagels. And then I'm gonna have probably 2 eggs that I mix with some cottage cheese for more protein. And I'm gonna put that on my bagel so that it's kind of like a bagel sandwich situation. The cottage cheese is going to act as my cream cheese, and I think it'll be really delicious. Then I'm going to go ahead and pack my lunch. I'm thinking like a snack plate lunch situation today, but first we need to eat breakfast. So I'll come back and chat more about my lunch once I'm done eating because I am ravenous. Okay, I actually really need to go to work and I'm in a huge rush, but I wanted to show what I'm going to be doing for lunch because I think it is really difficult at the office to maintain healthy habits and eat well, especially because a lot of my colleagues will go out for lunch and that is so tempting and super fun, but I have certain goals and certain health and wellness goals that I want to maintain. So what I'm doing for lunch is like a little snack plate situation. So I have actually 2 containers. So I have some baby carrots, some cucumbers, some pita chips, and then I have like a Greek yogurt dip that I made. And then for my like sweeter side, I have some blackberries, strawberries, and some watermelon. I did like pack up the watermelon in a plastic bag because I'm not trying to have that drip everywhere. And then I'll pack that up and put it in my lunchbox. I also am thinking I might bring an Olipop to work because I feel like I'm always craving like a sweet, fun drink at the office, and I really don't have anything. Like all we have for fun drink options is like water, so I really like to have a fun drink because then it feels a little special and feels nice. But I really actually need to go to work now, so I'm gonna pack this up, get all my stuff together, and then we're gonna head to the office. Hello, it is post-work day now, and you might see that I'm wearing different clothes. It is because I put on pajamas literally the second I walked in the door. It is, I think, 87 degrees in Chicago today, and I wear pants to work, and I was just dripping sweat, so we needed to change the second I got home. I am also just feeling so drained from the heat. My office honestly was really cold, but then outside it was just so hot. I hate that I feel like that's part of office culture in the summer, that they will blast the air conditioning because it's so hot outside, but I am dressed for the warm weather. So we need to make it comfortable even though it is hot. Like, it should not be 65 in the office. It should probably be like around 70 because I'm dressed for warm weather. Does anyone else feel like this is an issue or just me? Let's talk about how the day went. So I think I said this morning that I find it really difficult to stay on track and really prioritize my healthy habits in the office. And it's mainly because there's access to a lot of snacks in the office, and I can find that really difficult to resist. That being said, I think I did okay today. I did end up having some Chips Ahoy that were at the office, but I think it's really important to acknowledge that it's all about balance, and there were many other snack options available. There were Pringles, there were kettle cooked chips, there was trail mix, there were all these different things, and I could have just been snacking all day, but I was really craving a Chips Ahoy, and honoring those cravings is something I'm trying to do better about, because when I'm overly restrictive, I know that that will lead to me getting upset and just binge eating and really not prioritizing my health in any way. So I think that I am feeling pretty good about that. Also, I am in my luteal phase and I crave chocolate like crazy during this time of the month, so I think that that might have led to it. I did really enjoy the snack plate that I made for myself. I think it was a really good filling lunch. I think if I were to do it again, I would probably do more Greek yogurt dip because I did run out and then I was just kind of eating baby carrots and cucumber by itself, but I like those vegetables. I just think it would have been nice to have a little bit more Greek yogurt dip. And if you ever do make like a Greek yogurt dip, either for a snack plate or for like a salad, you could also add seasonings to it to make it even better. But I like Greek yogurt on its own. I think it works in a savory dish. It kind of tastes like sour cream to me. So I really enjoyed that. And now I have a little bit of time before dinner and I'm feeling really, really tired. I thought I was going to get home and read some of Two Towers, which is the second Lord of the Rings book, but honestly, with how hot it is, I am just feeling so mentally drained, and I think I'm just going to sit and color for a little bit until it's time to make dinner. Okay, one more update today actually, because I need to make dinner and I forgot to talk about what I was making. I am just going with a basic chicken, rice, and broccoli meal today. We're talking, I'm a gym bro, I'm on a cut, I'm an athlete. No, this is just actually a really easy meal to make, and my fiance and I are going to be watching the Lord of the Rings, the first one, because I've been reading the books and I have finished Fellowship of the Ring, so I want to watch the movie Fellowship of the Ring. And it is quite a long movie, so I want something really fast, easy, and something I don't have to think about very much. So chicken, rice, and broccoli it is. But I always really enjoy this meal. This is why you should season your chicken, because it makes it a lot more pleasant. But I'm going to go ahead and make that and eat dinner with my fiance and just have a good evening. I am feeling really, really drained because of the heat, like I mentioned, so I'm just looking forward to chilling in the air conditioning and watching Lord of the Rings. Good morning. It is Wednesday, which is my work from home day, or one of my work from home days, and I am feeling amazing this morning despite the fact that it is going to be another scorcher. But I feel like I had a really good morning already. I completed my 4-mile run and I did a new route that I haven't done before, which was really fun. I will say something that was really beneficial about motivation for this run is I ran to a park, and the park had a 1 mile loop, and then I ran home. And I think in my head that kind of like helped split up the run. So it was like, okay, you have 1.5 miles to the park, 1 mile in the park, and then you just have to run home. And I think that that is really good for my mental, so I'm definitely going to do that run again. I will say it was really hot by the time I started my run. I set an alarm for 5:15 a.m., but since it was a work from home day, I was like, you know what, we can sleep in, we can start the run at like 6:30 instead of 5:30. And by the time I started my run, it was already above 70 degrees and sunny. So it was a little bit of a struggle. I also wanted to see if any of you guys have advice, because I put my hair in a ponytail when I run, and especially when it's hot and humid, it just gets so tangled in the ponytail. I feel like I was brushing my hair for maybe like 15 minutes after I got home, and I was wondering if anyone has any tips. How do I avoid the tangles? If you have straight hair, straight thick hair, please let me know, because I have been struggling with that. And I've thought about putting my hair in a bun, but the problem with that, at least for my hair, is it always seems to fall out, and that doesn't solve the problem. I could also do a braid, but I'm not the best at braiding my own hair, so if you also have tips on how to do that, maybe that would be a good solution going forward. After I got home, I got in the shower, got all ready for the day, just shorts and a tank top because it's going to be 91, and then I made myself a yummy, nutritious breakfast. I really love on work from home days, I feel like I can spend a little bit more time making my breakfast. I can feel a little less stressed about eating. I can, just take more time in the morning for myself. So for breakfast this morning, I have a Greek yogurt bowl. It has banana, strawberries, blackberries, and then vanilla Greek yogurt. I do normally put protein granola on this, but I'm actually out of protein granola. I do know that a lot of people are like, protein granola is not really all that different than regular granola, but I figure every little bit counts. And I also just enjoy granola for the crunch it gives and the texture it gives my yogurt bowl. This will still be delicious, but definitely something to buy. And then I also have a iced coffee for myself. I've already drank about half of it because I was really thirsty when I was making breakfast. But for my iced coffee, I do a Nespresso pod, and I do 2 shots of Nespresso, and then I do some almond milk, and then I have Chobani cookie dough creamer, which honestly I don't know that I would recommend. It's okay, but it does have a little bit of an artificial taste, but I'm trying to make my way through it because it's about to expire and I don't want to waste it, and so we're gonna live with it anyway. As for this morning, I think I'm gonna read a little bit of the Two Towers before I have to log in for work. I did watch the first Lord of the Rings movie with my fiance last night, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was really well paced, even despite the fact that it's literally 3.5 hours long. It does not feel like incredibly long. It feels like every moment is important and matters, which I thought was really well done. I will say it is interesting. The first movie includes the beginning of book 2. Like, there's a scene that's in the book placed at the beginning of the second book, but it is in the first movie. And I will say I think that kind of makes a bit more sense in terms of pacing, because when it happens in book 2, you're kind of like, whoa, we're starting off with a bang. But I think having it end on like a climactic moment makes a lot more sense. But I'm going to enjoy reading Two Towers. I want to finish Two Towers so we can watch the movie. I'm not close, but I want to get some progress done. And I'm going to sit and enjoy my yogurt bowl, and then I have to log in a little bit. So that's my morning. I'll try to check in around lunchtime. Hello, it is now lunchtime, and I think I'm gonna do another like snack plate situation similar to what I brought to work yesterday, but I was thinking about it because I just did a Greek yogurt dip and I have peanut butter powder, which I've always really enjoyed mixing in Greek yogurt and making like a high protein peanut butter flavored dip. And I can also put some apple with that and some carrot. I probably won't do cucumber. I'm not really sure how good of a pairing that would be. I might have cucumber, just not dip it. But I think that will be a really good lunch. And then I think I might try to go for a short walk. It is really hot out, but it is cloudy right now. I'm at like 8,000 steps for the day, so I feel like I can do a short walk and just hit my 10K goal, and then I feel like I got some movement in my middle of my day. I feel like when you work from home, it's a lot of just sitting and staring at a computer, and I think that it can be really nice to kind of break that up with some movement. Also, I forgot to talk about it when I was talking about my run this morning, but I ran my fastest 5K ever this morning. I ran 4 miles, but within that, I ran my fastest 5K, which was 32 minutes and 12 seconds. And if you watched my last video, one of my big goals for this summer is to improve my 5K time. I want to get closer to the 30-minute 5K mark. And I actually just signed up for a 5K race in September, which is really exciting, a little intimidating because I've never done anything like that before. When I got into running, I thought the idea of signing up to do a race was really intimidating because I wasn't sure where my fitness level would be at. This race also does a 10K, and if I really felt up to it, it's crazy to think like maybe I can get to the point where maybe I do the 10K instead. But right now we're committing to the 5K. And my goal is hopefully that I can run that in 30 minutes. I think a big benefit of doing like a race 5K is that there will be no stoplights. That is something that I really struggle with when I'm running around my neighborhood. Is I try to pause my watch if I'm stopped at a stoplight, especially if I'm stopped for like more than, 10 seconds. But it still definitely adds up. Like if I'm running an under 10-minute mile, but then I get stopped, then there goes the under 10-minute mile, especially if I'm just barely at that mark. So I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm a little intimidated, but I'm proud that today's 5K was really fast. It felt like a good effort. It was hard just because of the heat, but I don't feel like super exhausted. A few other times when I've ran 4 miles, I feel like afterwards I was just like, oh my God, I feel so tired. I don't know how I did that. And today I'm feeling tired, but I'm not feeling like, oh, I couldn't do that again. Probably not tomorrow, but I don't feel a way of like, oh, that was too much for me. So that feels really good. But I need to go ahead and make lunch because I don't have a ton of time and I want to go for my walk. So I'll update you guys later. Okay, the workday is over and I've just made dinner, which is sweet potato, ground turkey, and cottage cheese, and then I put a little bit of honey and hot sauce over the top. I think that this was like a viral TikTok recipe, but I think they use typically ground beef instead of ground turkey. I buy ground turkey because it is much cheaper than ground beef, and I find it just as enjoyable. If you cook it well, I don't think it tastes gross, and I love turkey. I think that is a very good protein source. I also wanted to talk about what I'm going to be doing tonight. Originally, we were going to go out and go to trivia with some friends, but unfortunately, there is a major storm front going through Chicago, so we're actually going to stay home. But I wanted to talk about going out for trivia because I think that when you are trying to focus on your health, it can sometimes feel like you have to sacrifice social events. But I think that it's important that you still go out and do those things, and it's all about balance and not being overly restrictive. So I also want to say, like, if you do an activity that's out at a bar, like trivia or something, and you are trying to be mindful of your health goals, a lot of times there are like non-alcoholic options. I know a lot of bars now have non-alcoholic beers or non-alcoholic seltzers. So if you want it for like the social aspect, you can definitely do that. But especially if it's like an event, I feel like you shouldn't have any pressure to get anything. As long as someone at the table is getting something, I feel like you're being a good customer, so it's okay. Since we're not going out, we're actually just gonna sit on the couch and watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I've never watched it before, but Aspen Ovard is gonna be on the new Orange County version, and I am very curious about that, so I felt like I needed a little bit of context into the regular show and how it has historically worked. But we're just gonna sit here, enjoy our dinner, and enjoy that. And that's probably gonna wrap up this vlog because tomorrow's another office day, and I've already shown you what an office day looks like for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!